In this video, we are going to treat more on calculation on velocity of sound wave in an echo. All right, we are going to know more about any equation relating to echo and how to solve some complex question on echo. Please take note of that, okay? But before then, let's know what echo is. Please write. Echo can be defined as reflection of sound. Echo can be defined as reflection of sound. When we are given a particular question, we don't know when that particular question is focusing on echo. Okay, now please write. Take a note here. Note that echo can occur as a result of the following. Note that echo can occur as a result of the following. A. Thunder and lightning. Thunder and lightning. B. The distance from the source of sound, and the following. The distance. Okay, now echo can occur as a result of thunder and lightning. Please take note. Now the next thing here is the distance between the source of the sound and the following. Okay, I bed C. Okay, I bed C. I hill. C cliff. D wall. Okay, let me explain this. Now this is how we can understand a particular question on echo. Whenever we see any question on sound wave, in that question there is whenever we have any question on sound wave and we see a word like this, maybe thunder and lightning, or there is a distance between the source of the sound and the following here, bed C, hill and cliff, and also wall. It might either be the distance of the sound between this bed C, or hill, or cliff, or wall. So if there is a relationship between the distance of the source of the sound and maybe the cliff, at that point we say that echo must occur. Or there is a particular distance between the source of the sound and maybe a bed C, or a hill, or a cliff, or a wall, it means that echo must occur. Please take note. If I have a sound here, this is the sound, the source of the sound here. Let me say this is the source of the sound here, and this is the source of the sound here. Source, this is the one producing the sound, and I have wall here. At this point here, echo must produce. Please take note. Okay. Now this is how to know any question on echo. Please take note. Okay, let's solve some question here to understand this. Example 1, please. Let's solve this question here. But before we solve this question, let's understand echo perfectly. Now, we saw that echo is a reflection of sound. If echo is not being mentioned in a particular question, how do we know that that question is said to be focusing on echo? Now, this is very simple here. Whenever you see sound wave and they mention thunder and lightning in that particular question, that means that question is focusing on what? Echo. Please take note. Or if there is a distance, between the source of the sound and maybe you have wall between the source of the sound and wall, or source of the sound and bed C, or source of the sound and cliff, or source of the sound and wall. Please take note. At that point, we say that that question is focusing on what? Echo. Please take note. And class, before we solve the question here, we have to understand the question carefully. If echo is being mentioned, that means we use the mathematical expression of echo. If echo is not being mentioned, we check if there is a distance between the source of the sound and maybe wall, or bed C, or he, and or. Please take note of this, okay? But before we solve the question here, class, let's understand the question carefully. So let's read the question to understand here. It said, a bat emits a sound at a speed of 1650 meters per second and receives the echoes. That means this question is focusing on echo. All right. Now, this is the speed here given to us. This is the time given to us here. Please take note. Okay, let's go. A bat emits a sound at a speed of 1650 meters per second and receives the echoes 0.15 seconds later. Calculate the distance of the bat from the reflector. So since they mentioned echo here, that means I have to use the mathematical expression of echo here, class. So what is the formula in solving any question relating to echo? So the velocity of echo here is said to be V is equal to 2D over what? T. Please take note. The velocity of echo is said to be V is equal to 2D over what? T. Where D is equal to distance between, where D is equal to distance between the source of sound. Now let's try this T here is said to be the time taken. Please take note. This D here is not only distance, it's the distance between the source of the sound. Alright? Now this D here is the distance between the source of the sound, while this T here is said to be the time taken, and V is what? Please class, velocity. Okay, now let's try to list out the given parameters here from the equation. Our V here is given to us as 1650 meters per second. Please take note. Now the time, that is T, is said to be 0.5 seconds. Please take note. And we are asked to find what? Please class, our D. Please take note, it's not given. So class, using this mathematical expression here, that is V is equal to 2D over what? T. So let's replace. This is given to us as 1650. D, that is 2D here, class. Our T is what, class? 0.15. We are replacing the parameters here, the values here. Please take note. So V is already given to us here. The T is given to us here. That means you have to make D the Pareto formula. When you cross multiply here, this is going to be 2D 1650 times what, please class? 0.15. Okay. Now making only D the subject here, class, I'm going to have something like this. Alright. Okay. Making only D the Pareto formula here, that means I want to make D to stand alone here. I have to divide both sides by 2. So doing that, our D will be equal to, class, 1650 times 0.15 divide by 2. Okay, punch your calculator here, class. Punch your calculator. All right. Now 1650. So everything is this. Please take note. So that means our distance here is equal to, if I approximate that will be 124 in what? Meters. Please take note. If you approximate this in the nearest number, whole number, it will be 124 meters. All right. Let's solve some advanced question here on echo. All right. Let's solve this question, second question here on echo. But before we solve this, let's understand this. But please, if you have not subscribed to the channel, try and subscribe to the channel to be notified for all our videos. Okay. Now, what I'm solving here are mostly JAMB likely questions. These are the questions you must see as far as JAMB is concerned. Please take note of this. Okay. Now, let's solve this question, please. Let's read the question first to understand properly. A ship traveling towards a cliff receives the echo of, that means this question is on echo. Okay. As I told you guys that sometimes they might not mention echo, but whenever the source of the sound is before wall, or the source of the sound is before cliff, or the source of the sound is before bed sea, at that point you should know that that particular question is on what? Echo. Please take note of that, okay? But if they mention echo, just know that it's already on echo. Please take note of that. They say echo of its whistle after 3.5 seconds. Okay, so the time is given to us here for whistle. Okay, a short while later, it receives the echo after 2.5 seconds. Okay, if the speed of sound in air under the prevailing condition is 250 meters per second, how much closer is the ship to cliff? So this particular sound here is not between the ship and what? Cliff. Please take note. But they gave us they gave us 2 times here. They gave us T1 as this. They gave us T2 as this. And we should find the distance between the ship and the cliff here. So let's solve this question here, class. Solving this question here, have to list out the given parameters. So our T1 is given to us as 3.5 seconds. Please take note. Okay, now let's go to the next one here. Our T2 is given to us as what, this class? 2.5 seconds. So the common velocity between this T1 and T2 here is said to be V, which is given to us as what, this class? 250 meter per second. And we're asked to find T1 and T2. So T1 will give us D1. We're asked to find D1 and D2. Sorry for that. Now, T1 will give us D1 and T2 will give us what? D2. With this common velocity between the cliff, the ship, and what? The cliff. Please take note of this, okay? Now, let's solve the question properly here with using these given parameters, all right? Class, let's solve this question here. Since it's on echo here, we have to use this to be V equal to 2D1 over what? T1. Please take note. All right. Now, class, let's replace what is given to us here. V is given to us as 250 is equal to class 2D1 over T1 is given to us as what, please, class? 3.5. So our intention here is to make D1 the subject. So let's cross multiply here. This will be 2D1 is equal to 250 times what? 3.5. Please take note. So divide both sides by 2. This D1 will equal to class 250 times 3.5 divide by 2. Okay, class? Punch your calculator. 250 times 3.5 divide by 2. What is the answer, please? That is 437.5 in what? Meters. Okay. Now we have calculated our D1. The next is to calculate D2. Okay. Now that means using T2, we can calculate D2. All right. Now let's do that, please. Let's calculate D2 here using the formula for echo. Velocity of echo, that is V, is equal to 2D2 over what? T2. Please take note. So in this formula here, our intention is to find what? D2. So let's replace our V, please. Our V is 250 is the common velocity between the ship and the cliff. Please take note. Is equal to class 2D2 over, what is the T2 there, please, class? That is 2.5 from the equation. Okay, now let's cross multiply here. This is going to give us 2D2 is equal to 250 times 2.5. So divide both sides by 2 by making D2 the subject. That means D2 will be equal to class 250 times 2.5 divide by what? 2. So punch your calculator, please. Let's get this answer. That is 312.5. But class, the distance between, our intention here is to find the distance between the ship and the cliff. Of course, they are not together. That means there is a gap between them. So they are not together. This ship and the cliff here, they are not together. So if I have this to be, this is the ship, this is the cliff, something like this is the cliff. Let's call this cliff. So the gap between this and this should be what? A difference, right? The difference here. That means the distance between this and this should be, this is going to be D. Please take note of this. This is going to be D is equal to D1 minus what? D2. Please take note. So our D here will be equal to class. What's my D1, please? D1 is said to be 437.5 minus D2 is obvious class 312.5. So please point your calculator. What is the answer? That is 125 in what? In meters. So this is our answer here. You can take the correct answer at that point. Okay. Now, to get the next topic on harmonics, overtone, and fundamental frequency, you hit the subscribe button to get everything about waves. Okay, thank you so much.